Okay, and welcome to Northford, Connecticut. And this is going to be a home game for the Yale Bulldogs as they operate out of this rim. And it's the Yale 2010 AAA team against Mid-Fairfield 2010 Junior Rangers. And so this is the third game of the week, and this game will set the stage for the championship game tonight at 6 o'clock. Mid-Fairfield wins, and they're in. And Yale, I believe, has a chance also to make the final game with a big win here. So a lot at stake, and we'll get going shortly. Just a couple of notes. We were fortunate enough to be allowed upstairs into the office at Northford, so we're going to be filming here. There are some limitations, but it's a whole lot better than being downstairs in the ice level and getting absolutely nothing. So the cameraman, who right now is Mr. Beck, will try to give you as much of the action as we can. So in net, to start the game, will be Joe Violante. Mid-Fairfield so far 2-0 on the weekend. First game of the weekend was against the Wolfpack, Mid-Fairfield winning 4-0. Second game was against CJR, and Chris Faich started in net with a 5-1 victory. And so now, third game is Joe's, and we'll face off against Yale. Some of the past, let's see, the teams have only seen each other once so far this year. It was a 2-2 tie down in Stanford Twin Rinks, and so I know Mid-Fairfield was unsatisfied with the outcome, so they'll be looking to improve upon that performance. So today's starting lineup for your Mid-Fairfield 2010 Rangers: Owen Hanna gets the start against his old team with Beck and Scranton up front, Picaro and Zoo back on D, and Violante in between the pipes. Win by Hanna over to Picaro. Picaro dances around, leaves it for Zoo, taps through the neutral zone and turned over. But here comes Scranton with a steal. He's got Beck in front of the net. Scranton hits the brakes, reverses course, harassed by the Yale player, out to Zoo, winds up, shot, loose out in front. Tried to fire it out by one of the Yale players, unable to get it out. Zoo kicks it down, but Beck unable to contain the zone, throws it back to Scranton. Scranton up along the boards, gains the Yale zone, but Yale up with the puck. Cross-ice pass that misfires. Zoo gets a stick on it, but again, dumped back into the Yale zone. Yale looks to skate it out. Correa now Ruff on the ice, forces the errant pass, and Picaro wheels around, trying to get it out of the zone, but Yale still up with the puck. Bouncing puck that Yoon's forced to slap out of the zone. Johnston picks it up and dumps it into the Yale zone. Ruff gives chase. Yoon now up with it, shot off the side of the net. Yale trying to get it out, but constant pressure from Mid-Fairfield. And Yale just throws it the length of the ice for an icing. So good pressure by Mid-Fairfield to start with there. 14:25 left in the first period. So Malefus, Heckel, and Ludke out there with O'Neill and Schwartz on D. Malefus with the win, shot by Heckel, but he whiffs on it. Ludke gets the whiff and throws a shot on net, but that's covered up by the Yale goalkeeper. So Malefus and Heckel talking again. Heckel wants one more opportunity, I think, there. But win this time by Yale and just thrown the length of the ice for another icing. 14:13 left. try once more. Heckel up with it, shot, misses the net. Schwarz races around to pin the puck along the corner. Heckel up with it, throws it out to Malefis, who just misses it with his stick. Malefis forced to retreat. Yale picks up the pass, though, and just turns it over to Schwarz, who threads the needle to Heckel. Heckel's got Ludke. Ludke's shot, and it went off the post. Looked like it was headed in. He had the goalie beat, but just about a fraction of an inch, preventing it from going into the net. O'Neill races back, gets there first, throws to the opposite side. Heckel now up with the puck, skates in front of Violante, throws it up to Schwarz, but a little too strong. Yale's able to dump it back in. O'Neill taps it back. Schwarz up with the errant pass. Yale back up with it again. Oh, big hit on O'Neill by O'Neill on Aldred. Yale still up with it out in front of Violante. He's able to stick it to the side. Aldred, I think, feeling the effects of that hit, skates off. Oh, stolen by Yale is Jones. Jones puts a shot way high off the net. So Yale humming around now a little bit here. Pass out to Beck, who taps it off the boards. Unable to control it. Jones from Yale with the errant pass, but he's immediately confronted by Scranton, who fights for possession. Scranton now up with it. Nice play by Klingenstein to keep it in. And now it's finally thrown out to the neutral zone. Klingenstein up with it. Tries to get it cleanly to Ruff. Ruff unable to handle it. And we're gonna have a stoppage in play here. 11:57 left. And so just a quick note to the parents at home, if you are watching and you can comment on the parent chat, we always appreciate it if we know that the picture's coming through and the video and the audio is coming through as well. So if you don't mind commenting, that would be appreciated. So win by Mid-Fairfield, and it's dumped in. Yale tries to break it out, but Mid-Fairfield again steals the puck, dumps it back in. Yale tries to settle things down here, but Ruff and Perret doing an active job forechecking. They're pinned along the corner. Still pinned. Finally squirts loose and Ruff's up with it. Zoo able to keep it in again. It's fielded by the Yale goalkeeper. We'll have a stoppage in play here. 11:11 left in the first period. We're all tied at 0. All right, and thank you parents for that response. Appreciate it. So Malefis at center. He's got Ludke out there with him. And Heckel, O'Neill and Shunk out on D. Ludke up with it behind the Yale goalkeeper. Slides it over to Shunk. Shunk a little bit too strong on the pass to Malefis, but Heckel picks it up. Heckel back out to Shunk. Shunk puts a shot on net, bounces off the Yale goalkeeper, and slides by the crease. And Yale forces it out of the zone, so Heckel slides it over to Shunk. And Heckel still with the puck, but turns it over. He slides it though out to O'Neill, over to Ludke, and thrown out of the zone. So Shunk forced to retreat. Violante slides it up to Malefis, and here comes Yanni Malefis, shot! And it's off of the pads of the Yale goalkeeper. Oh, we thought he was gonna have Scranton streaking in. But nice play by Matty Cuccaro to tap that pass. Violante fields it. So far, I mean, Yale's come out of here with a spirited effort, but Mid-Fairfield controlling the pace of play, but unable to put one in past the goalkeeper yet. Another big hit by O'Neill. Sawyer O'Neill must have had his Wheaties today. Already 2 big hits on the Yale players the first period. Shot on Violante that's patted to the side. And Yale keeps it in again. Brady up with it, shot, misses the net. Paul Vartanian makes his first appearance of the day, fighting for possession of the puck. O'Neill back up with it, taps it backwards, over to Vartanian. Vartanian surveys, skates around a little bit, and taps it into the neutral zone. And they're going to call Paz with a high stick. Somewhat questionable call there. Looked actually about chest level, but 8:57 left in the first period. Still knotted up at 0. Rough at center with Correa and Johnston. Klingenstein and Schwarz out on D. Win by Mid-Fairfield. Back to Klingenstein. Winds up, shot. I think it'll hit off the side of the net. Klingenstein back up with it. Another shot. This time it's gloved by the Yale goalkeeper. So far this weekend, Mid-Fairfield with a ton of goals off of the goalkeeper that just have been battled and knocked in. So I think Klingenstein was trying to get one to bounce off the goalie's pads. So rough at center. Correa is admonished to get out of the circle. Johnston up with it, but turned over, but then stolen right back by Mid-Fairfield. Johnston up with it, over to Klingenstein. Klingenstein throws it over to Johnston. Oh, and stolen by Lucas Ruff. He's in the slot, but decides to skate it out. Over to Correa, back to Schwarz, back to Klingenstein. Klingenstein pitches in, shot, bounced off the goalie, but nobody there. Schwarz pinches in. Still battle along the corner boards. Ruff up with it, shot, misses the net. Klingenstein pinches in, taps it in. Klingenstein with a big hit. Schwarz trying to keep it in the zone and does, but then Yale's there to finally throw it out. Long shift for some of these players here. Long pass over to Klingenstein. It's turned over in the neutral zone, but Heckel there to pick up the errant pass. Heckel now tries to skate through, hooked, but no call. Over to Klingenstein. And the puck stolen by Yale. Kelly up with it from Yale, tries dumping it in. So finally, Heckel able to throw it in the Yale zone, unable to be handled by the Yale goalkeeper, Lutke there, waiting for his teammates to come on side. Yale player loses his stick, but Lutke over to Heckel. Heckel back to Yoon. Yoon winds up, shot, loose. Lutke there, still loose out in front. Nice play by the Yale goalkeeper who's able to secure the puck. So 7:02 left in the first period. No score as of yet. Win by Mid-Fairfield. Backhand, Malefus unable to hit the net. Heckel still working the puck over to Malefus. Cross ice to Yoon. Yoon tries to avoid the forward, unable to do so, and the puck now is loose in the corner, but Lutke there. Malefus pokes his stick in, steals the puck. Malefus shot, bounces off the goalkeeper. Yoon now with another shot. Good save by the Yale goalkeeper. Heckel now with the puck. Oh, skipping, bounding puck gets by Zoo's stick. Turned right over to Yale. Yoon back to Zoo. Over to Heckel. And Heckel dumps in. Stolen by Jones, throws it to the opposite corner. Carl with the steal. Throws it over to Shunk. Hits Lutke, who dumps it in. Beck gives chase. Pins the Yale player there. Oh, out in front is Scranton, saved by the Yale goalkeeper. Scranton goes down and loses the puck. Puck thrown over and dumped into the mid-Fairfield zone. Shot onto Violante that's sticked aside. And here comes Scranton with a full head of steam. He's got one defenseman to beat. Oh, nice play by the Yale defenseman. It's stolen now by Yale and thrown out of the zone to Ruff. Shunk now battling the Yale forward, thrown out, skips over the Yale defenseman's stick, and dumped back in onto Violante. And Fairfield trying to break it out, unable to hit Heckel cleanly, but here comes Heckel, who's dragged down, loose, and the puck is in the net, and he's going to call it a goal for Braden Heckel. And the ref is saying that it's the goalie's responsibility there, that he actually pushed the puck into the net. And the ref was adamant that the defenseman from Yale pushed Heckel, and then the goalie who had made the initial save looked like he pushed the puck into the net. And the ref was adamant about that. Yale coaches, which looks like they have the whole Yale coaching staff over there right now, is furious with the call, but the ref was adamant. So Braden Heckel gets mid-Fairfield on the board first at 4:24, and that's definitely an unassisted goal by Heckel. Cullen Correa, who's now standing directly behind the referee. I love Cullen's game. He is fun to watch out on the ice. And mid-Fairfield looks to break it out of their zone. Malefus now, who's tripped. No call. Malefus still with it. Shot. Patted aside. Big hit by Correa. Schwartz now up with it on the side of the net. And it deflects off the goalie's head, I think. O'Neill pitches in, throws it in front, but only Yale players are there. Yale dumps it in to the side of Violante. Malefus picks up the puck, hits the brakes. Malefus surveys. And it should be an icing. Not sure what Yanni was doing there. I thought he saw a teammate, but it was only Yale players, so they let it go to force the icing. So 3:29 left in the first period. Mid-Fairfield up 1-0 on an unassisted goal by Braden Heckel. So sticked aside by Violante. Klingenstein just trying to get the puck out to Johnston, does. Beck now retrieves the errant pass. Zoo. Mid-Fairfield getting a little sloppy here. Stolen by Yale and thrown to the opposite corner. Mid-Fairfield recovers. Zoo gets it settled down to Klingenstein. Cross-ice pass to Johnston. But again, stolen by Yale. Shot onto Violante that hits the side of the net. Yale again keeps the puck in the zone. Zoo with a rolling puck settles it down. Zoo hits Johnston in stride, but again skips out of the zone. Kleinstein over to Zoo, over to Hannah. Hannah waits for a teammate. It's got Johnston there, but turns over the puck. Hannah able to tap it, dump it back into Johnston. It gets it to Luke. He's shot off the goalie. Puck squirts loose behind the Yale goalkeeper. Good forecheck by Ruff. And Yale's able to break it out. Yoon gets it over to Ruff, unable to handle it cleanly, and dumped in behind the Yale goalkeeper, who's able to field it. And Yale finally skates it out, but Scranton able to throw it back in. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Jones throws it high up into the air from Yale. Scranton overskates it, but then able to recover. Scranton across the blue line. And again, rejected by Yale. Yoon able to dump it in. We're going to have a stoppage in play here. So 1:17 left in the first period. Mid-Fairfield up 1-0. They're going to have a face-off again. The center ice. Malefus, Correa. Correa, who's literally so involved with the Yale winger, is going to ride up on the backside of the ref. Oh, nifty passing, but Malefus unable to handle it cleanly. Correa tries sliding it over to Malefus, gets Heckel instead. Correa now up with it. Correa now behind the net. Slides it over to Schwarz. Schwarz back to Malefus. Malefus now gets loose behind the net, tries to backhand it. Nice play by the Yale defenseman. Out in front, it's Correa, and it's in! Colin Correa with a beautiful assist by Yanni Malefus is able to slam the puck through. And Mid-Fairfield, with 31 ticks left in the first period, is able to extend its lead to 2-0. Hannah at center with Beck. And Scranton, O'Neill, and Zoo on D. Mid-Fairfield controls the puck, but stolen by Yale. Shot onto Violante that he's able to secure. Okay, so coach will run with the same group here. Battle along the glass, shot onto Violante that's gloved. Face-off wing by Yale, dumps it behind Violante. Mid-Fairfield battles for control and comes up with it, and that's the end of the first period. So at the end of one, Mid-Fairfield up 2-0 over Yale. And we'll take a short break, and just remember that in between the second and third, we will have an ice cut for about 10 minutes or so. We take a break. All right, and we're going to be going in a second here. Violante changes nets. And I think you're looking live at Coach Gragg's drawing up on the whiteboard. And Coach Letty, Coach Nick in position. And I think we're ready to go here. So the players all give Violante a tap on the pads. So you've got Ruff at center with Correa and Johnston. Sue and Guccaro out on D. Johnston goes down in a heap here. Not sure what happened. He's going to skate off. I don't know if he took a stick in the neck because he's grabbing at just underneath his helmet. So he looks to be okay, but some amount of pain there. So Vartanian takes his place. Zoo was able to swat it away, but Yale able to dump it in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Reese took a stick to the neck. Looks like he's okay, but that's a stinger. And it's thrown into the mid-Fairfield end. Guccaro up with it. Mid-Fairfield trying to break it out. Good forecheck by Yale, but Guccaro hits the brakes, let the Yale player go by him, skates it out, and just throws it the length of the ice. But they're going to say there's no icing. Fortunate for mid-Fairfield, because I don't know what the ref was talking about. It looked like it was pretty clean, but Correa now up with it, puts a shot on net that's gloved by the Yale goalkeeper. 15:09 left. So Malefus up front with Heckel and Lukey, Shunk and Yoon out on D. Won by mid-Fairfield, Lukey up with the puck. Heckel now behind the Yale goalkeeper. Slides it up to Shunk. Shunk winds up, shot off of one of the Yale players who's hobbled now. And out of the zone. Jones now from Yale with the puck. Yale bench is upset. Shot! And secured by the Yale goalkeeper. So Hannah, Beck, Scranton out there. Shunk and Yoon still out on D. Win by mid-Fairfield. Beck swoops in, gets the puck, goes behind the Yale goalkeeper, but turns it over. Tipped off of the Yale stick, Yoon forced to retreat. Puck still loose. Hannah able to throw it over to Shunk. And here comes mid-Fairfield. Yoon looks to break it out. Get it to Beck, and Beck, I guess, must have missed it with his stick. They're going to call an icing on mid-Fairfield. So coach goes for some wholesale changes here. Puts Schwartz and O'Neill out on D. We've got Correa, Johnston back out there again, Ruff. Johnston able to swoop in, steal the puck, but then thrown back out by Yale. Ruff now picks up the errant pass. Ruff picks up the puck. Shot! Deflects off the Yale goalkeeper. O'Neal swoops in, keep the puck in the zone, runs over one of the Yale players. Johnston now there, throws it out to Correa, over to Schwarz. Schwarz dumps it in to Johnston. Johnston harassed by the Yale player. Correa now joins the fray. Up to Johnston into the corner. Ruff now picks up the loose puck. Tries to feed one of the players out in front. O'Neal keeps it in. Throws it back to Johnston. Over to Ruff. Back to Johnston. Over to Schwarz. Back to O'Neal. And turned over and thrown the length of the ice. And that's going to be another icing call. All right, so Malefus is at center. He's out there with Ludke and Heckel. Win by Yale. Throws at the length of the ice, but Caccaro able to make up the gap. Turned it over back in the neutral zone. And here comes Malefus. Malefus gets by the defenseman, but then loses the handle of the puck. Ludke up with it. Over to Malefus. He throws it back to Caccaro along the boards. Oh, Caccaro turns over the puck at the blue line. And Gutman is able to throw it in from Yale. Doglegs on Violante, the puck, but he's able to recover. Yale back up with the puck again. Caccaro now battling for possession. Yale now, again, tries to get at the puck. The ref keeps it in. And Clegenstein forced to retreat behind Violante to gain the puck. Ludke now high up in the air to Heckel, who's able to field it and dump it in behind the Yale goalkeeper. Yale looks to break out, but Hanna gets a stick on it. Paz from Yale able to control the puck and get it out of the zone. Paz now back up with it, but loses the handle, and Zoo able to dump it. Puck thrown along the boards. Beck dumps back in behind the Yale netminder. Hanna leaves the puck for Scranton. Scranton back up to Yoon, who dumps it in deeper. Still a battle along the back of the net. Out to Zoo, winds up, shot, blocker save. Scranton engages, leaves the puck for Beck. Beck behind the net. So far, mid-Fairfield, no goals here, but showing relentless pressure on Yale. Scranton now up with it. Oh, went through the crease. Zoo pinched in, gets it over to Beck. Beck puts it on net. Hanna with a shot. Skips behind the net. Finally, the Yale goalkeeper is able to put a mid on it and stop play here. 10:33, but mid-Fairfield hunting for a goal there. Constant pressure on the Yale netminder. So we got a new line out there. Correa and Ruff and Johnston. Schwarz and O'Neal out on D. So controlled by mid-Fairfield. Correa puts it off the end board. Johnston up with it. Schwarz collects. Shot that's blocked. And now Yale's in control. Kelly across the mid-Fairfield blue line. Shot over the net. Oh, beautiful play by Ruff to sweep away the puck. Violante still wasn't in position yet. Violante with a pad save. And Violante is able to glove it. It's a good thing he lost his stick, but he's able to stop play here. 9:54 left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield up 2-0. So that was Yale's best scoring chance of the day. Put a couple of nice shots on Violante, but fortunately for Mid-Fairfield, Lucas Ruff there able to sweep away the puck that was just sitting in the crease. So kicked out by Lukey. Just looking to settle the puck down. Shunk, a little pass over to Malefus, who gains the zone. Malefus puts a shot that's blocker saved. Back out to Cuccaro. Back to Malefus, a little too strong and into the corner. Heckel now goes to retrieve the puck. Throws it out to Cuccaro. Cuccaro winds up, shot over the net. Yale tries to get it out, but Shunk with some nifty skating and stick handling. Out to Heckel, back to Cuccaro, shot, and it's blocked off a Yale player's skate. And stolen by Malefus, who forces it in the zone. But it's thrown out by Yale. Lukey now up with the puck. Kelly and Shunk going at it. Shot by Malefus. Still loose out in front. And out in front, Violante, and a save by Violante. Yale had a 2-on-1 there. And now we're going to get some penalties. Shunk and Kelly had been going at it for the last 5 minutes or so. And I believe Shunk got the last shot in, which of course always gets you the penalty. 8:39 left, and Mid-Fairfield is going to have to go on a penalty kill here. So your penalty killers, Hannah, Yoon, Scranton, and Zoo. Win by Mid-Fairfield. Zoo slides it over to Scranton, who taps it off. And that should have been an offside, but it wasn't. So Yale back in control. Violante is able to stick it away. Yoon up with it, over to Scranton. And you got to watch Mid-Fairfield here. They are highly adept at these shorthanded goals. Yoon with a shot, and the Yale goalkeeper is able to secure it. You see it if Malefus comes out to be the penalty killer. He loves being up by the blue line, using that long reach to poke the puck out, get a breakaway. But coach is going to go with Hannah here, Scranton, Schwartz, and Cuccaro as his penalty killers. 1:05 left in the penalty to Shunk. Win by Yale. Schwartz forces it in. Hannah there. Throws the puck behind him to Scranton. And Yale looks to control across their own blue line. Yale looks to set up shop here, top of the key, and misses the net. Cuccaro there. Cuccaro and Scranton working the puck, but so is Yale. Yale back up with it, out in front, and again denied by the Mid-Fairfield defenseman. Hannah now up with it, slides it over to Yale. And Jones dumps it in from Yale. 13 seconds left, Yale unable to get a shot on net. Jones still up with it, but battling with Hannah. Shot misses the net. Penalties expired. Yale fans unhappy with what they thought was a tripping call. Shot onto Violante, and the net's off. So it's 6:58. Mid-Fairfield kills off the penalty to Shunk. Now we'll be skating 5 aside. Mid-Fairfield still up 2-0. So Ruff, Correa, and Vartanian out there with Zoo and Yoon. They're going to redo that face-off. Ref's unhappy with it. Correa able to control it, slides it over to Vartanian. Vartanian across center ice over to Zoo. Shot, that's gloved by the Yale goalkeeper. So coach will run with the same group here, Ruff at the center position, win by mid-Fairfield, but stolen by Yale. And that was definitely a makeup call because so Vinny Zoo, who looked like he was barely touched the Yale winger, went down, and they're going to call an interference call. So I believe to probably make up for the tripping call that actually was a trip. So mid-Fairfield goes back on the penalty kill again, giving Yale life here, down 2-0. Shunk able to throw the puck the length of the ice, and they're going to wave it off. And again, the Yale parents just incensed below us. Shunk still battling. Shunk just throwing bodies around. Yale finally able to get it by Brody. Thrown in behind Violante. And now Heckel's up with it. Lifts it high up into the air. Tried to hit it to Malethus. Malethus with the steal. Slides it over to Heckel's shot. And nice save by the Yale goalkeeper. Mid-Fairfield, that's when you know this team is clicking. When you see passing like that. Malethus with an incredible steal and just slides the puck over to a waiting Heckel. Braden Heckel most of the time is going to put that in the back of the net. So mid-Fairfield moving the puck around well, which is a good sign for things to come in the month of March. And Yale able to dump in behind Violante. Yoon taps it out, but Yale forces it back in on the side of Violante. But nice defensive work by Picaro to deny. Hanna now with the puck. Hanna gets a face full of fist from his old teammate. And Picaro comes back up with the puck, but he's hounded by Yale players and thrown back in by Yale. And stiff lift by Scranton. Yoon skates it out, gives it to Heckel, back to Scranton. Scranton with a full head of steam. Scranton with a shot, unable to hit the net. But Picaro up with the errant shot. Picaro with another shot, blocker save, loose out in front. And here comes Heckel back with the puck. Heckel is just like a bowling ball out there, just people bouncing off of him. Oh, it's thrown to the ice by Scranton as one of the Yale players. Nice shot. Turns, it's loose, out in front, the goalie's down. Puck's still loose, scramble out in front. 4:11 left in the second period. So Yale's clamped down on mid-Fairfield after they were scoring 2 goals late in the first period. Clamped down harder in the second period to keep it a 2-0 deficit. 4:17 left in the second period. Malethus at center. He's got Lukey and Vartanian out there. Vartanian admonished by the ref to go back. And here comes Lukey up with the puck. Lukey gets it over to Vartanian. Vartanian slides it out to Klingenstein, winds up, shot off the goalkeeper. Zoo, another shot, loose out in front, but Yale able to sweep it away. Klingenstein tries to get it out, but stolen by Yale, sticked aside by Violante, and here comes Malethus the other way. Malefus splits the defender's legs with a pass to himself. And he's back up with it. Slides to Klingenstein, over to Zoo. Shot, tipped, and over the net. Good tip by Ludke, but went over the netting. So Mid-Fairfield controlling the pace of play here. Ludke now, still with the puck. Slides it over to Zoo. Zoo with a shot, but it's tipped off of a Yale stick and up into the netting. 3:02 left in the second period. And just as a housekeeping reminder, we're going to take a short break in between the second and third period, about a 10-minute break or so, to allow the Zamboni cut. Give the kids a fresh sheet of ice for the third period to decide the game. Ruff at center. He's got Correa out there with Johnston, Schwartz, and O'Neill. Battle for possession. Ruff gets a shot that's off the goalie's pad and up into the netting. And we'll reload here. Won by Mid-Fairfield. Correa with a shot, doesn't hit the net. And Yale breaks it out. Yale's going to have a 3-on-2 here if they can handle it cleanly. Schwartz now up with the puck behind Violante, gets it to Correa. O'Neill able to handle the errant pass, gets it to Correa. Correa now across the blue line, shot, bounced off the Yale goalkeeper, but nobody there from Mid-Fairfield. And an offside on Mid-Fairfield. So 2:02 left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield up 2-0. Hannah, Scranton, and Beck out there with Yoon and Shunk. Hannah now up with it, shot, misses the net. And Fairfield keeps the puck in. And shoveled out by a Yale player into the Mid-Fairfield zone. Stolen by Yoon. And Scranton was about a half a step too soon. So other than that very short outburst in the second period, Yale just not able to get any shots on Violante here. Had a couple of opportunities there for about 30-second span, and then credit the stout Mid-Fairfield defenseman. Been able to turn away Yale's best attempt at offense here. Win by Mid-Fairfield. Zoo tries to feed it to Scranton. They're going to call an icing. 1:21 left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield up 2-0. So Malefus comes out at center. He's got Lukey out there with him. Heckel retreats to pick up the errant pass. He's got Picaro out there with him. Nice pass to Ludke. Mid-Fairfield looks to set things up. Ludke threw a shot that was easily fielded by the Yale goalkeeper to stop play here. 1:03 left in the second period. So Malefus at center. Still. You got Picaro and Zoo out on D. Picaro off the left shoulder of Malefus, but Yale wins it. Zoo able to keep it in. Shot by Zoo, and again fielded by the Yale goalkeeper. So it's ironic that the last time Mid-Fairfield played Yale, they went up 2-0. In similar fashion, Yale came back late. But it's definitely a different Mid-Fairfield team, able to clamp down defensively, deny even the slightest bit of passing by Yale. So refs will redo the face-off here. Again, win by Mid-Fairfield. Lukey up with it. The side of the net, tries a wraparound. Goalkeeper turns it away easily. Lukey in the back. DeCaro pinches in. With some help from Malefus, dumps back in. Lukey behind the net. A shot by Malefus. Hits the side of the net. DeCaro dumps it back in. Tipped. Zoo able to throw it back over to Lukey. Over to Zoo. Shot. It's fielded by the Yale goalkeeper. It's getting somewhat of a workout here. But Mid-Fairfield definitely going for those tips. Trying to put one past him. So the final 13.3 seconds in the second period, Lucas Ruff will be centering the line. He's got Johnston and Correa out there with him. Stolen by Johnston. Slides it over. Shot. Unable to hit the nets. And that's the period. So we'll take a short break here and be right back at it in about 10 minutes. So hold tight. And we'll bring you the third period in about 10 minutes. period. So Mid-Fairfield with the win. Lutke up with the puck. Slides it over to Klingenstein. Heckel gets it over to Shunk. Trouble handling it in the Mid-Fairfield zone. Kelly races over from Yale and throws a shot in that Shunk gets there to deny. And Heckel and Malafis working together trying to break away there. Shunk settles the puck down over to Heckel. And Heckel throws it into the opposite corner. Lutke gets there first. Tries to feed Beck, but Coccaro up with it into the slot, slides it over to Beck, leaves it for Coccaro. Beck now up with it, pinned along the end board. And Lutke comes up with the puck. Turns it over to Beck. Coccaro now up with the Eric pass, dances along the blue line, and leaves it for Malafis. Malafis content to dump it in behind. Beck gives chase. Nice stick lift by Beck. Swanson now enters the fray. Beck up with it. Over, out in front, it's Lutke. Puck is loose. Yale goalkeeper able to keep it out. Over to Hannah. Shot by Zoo. Tipped off the goalie's glove. And we're going to have an icing here. Some scoreboards to keep track of. Right now, CJR is beating the Wolfpack 3-1 at last report. Shot by Scranton and saved by the Yale goalkeeper. So that's a big game for seeding over there. Scranton wheels it around to Coccaro. Coccaro back to Scranton. He's forced out of the zone. Scranton up to Coccaro. Over to Vartanian. Out loose out in front. Oh, the Yale goalkeeper and Coccaro run into each other. And the Yale bench is going crazy, but in reality, that was really nothing. Coccaro just playing the game, the Yale goalkeeper out there as well. Nothing intentional. But at this point, Yale just looking, searching for anything to even get shots on Violante, which can't remember the last time Yale had a shot on Joe, maybe one in the last 10 minutes or so. So just Mid-Fairfield just locking down defensively on Yale. Puck thrown out, Schwartz able to tap back in again. Johnston up with it. O'Neal shot, it's blocked, tipped off in the corner. Schwartz pinches in. And Yale able to recover. Throws it behind their own net. Johnston gets there first. Johnston surveys, skates out to the blue line, gives it to Schwartz. Oh, Schwartz tried to nifty pass to Perret. And O'Neal able to deny. Aldred from Yale collects the errant pass and dumps in the Mid-Fairfield zone. Behind Violante they go. Lucas Ruff tries to break things out. And finally gets it out of the mid-Fairfield zone at center ice. And puck thrown in for an offside by Gutman from Yale. So we have the distinct pleasure of having Mr. Heckel on the camera today. So he's doing the third period. So Malefus and Lutke and Heckel out. Malefus up with the puck, hits the brakes, loses the handle. And here comes Yale the opposite way, but then turns it right back over to Lutke. Malefus up with it, loses the handle again, but manages to maintain it. Malefus shot off the Yale goalkeeper, and a couple of nice saves by the Yale goalkeeper. Malefus at center, win, Heckel's shot, and it's glove, but it's loose by the Yale goalkeeper. He had it, popped out of his mid. Over to Lutke, to Malefus. Lutke's still battling behind the net. Lutke up with it, falls down, pinch back in. Shot by Malefus, save. Right now, the Yale goalkeeper is all that stands between mid-Fairfield, just blowing this game out. Mid-Fairfield just cycling the puck around at will right now. So Heckel going at it with the goalkeeper. Still some pushing and shoving. Finally, they break it up. Just hockey. Heckel's line skates off, and coach comes out with a new one. So you've got Hannah out there with Scranton and Beck. Carl and Klingenstein on D. 10:45 left in the third period. Mid-Fairfield still up only by 2. By mid-Fairfield, Beck on the side, out in front, unable to connect to Scranton. And they're going to call a high stick on Caccaro, who says hello to Cantori from Yale. So the face-off will be just to the side of Violante, Hannah at center. Klingenstein up with it. Good forecheck by Yale. And Scranton able to throw it over to Beck. Beck now behind the Yale goalkeeper. Fairfield's been hunting a goal for a while. Beck now circles around and puts it into the stomach of the Yale goalkeeper. So 10:08 left to play. Ruff at the center position. Got Correa and Johnston there. Ruff. They throw it out to Zoo. Errant pass. And again, with Fairfield there to deny. Looked like Yale was going to have an opportunity to break it out into the mid-Fairfield zone, and mid-Fairfield just clamping down. Johnston goes hard to the ice, but no penalty. Zoo with a big hit to respond for his teammate. And it's an icing. So things getting a little chippy out there. Johnston on the receiving end of a big hit. And then on the opposite side, Vinny Zoo answers with a big hit on a Yale forward. So Malithus at the center position. He's got Lutke and Heckel out there. Yoon and Schwarz on D. Just an entertaining game so far. Shot on the goalkeeper is able to turn it to the side. Lutke gets there, Schwarz pinches in. And Yoon collects it. Throws it up to Lutke, who's denied by the Yale defenseman. And here comes Yale across center ice is Aldred. He finally throws a shot on Violante. It's way wide. Heckel throws it behind the net. Schwarz in. And now Lutke up with it, throws it, but stolen by Yale. And turned back over to Heckel, throws it back to Schwarz, over to Yoon. Yoon threads the needle, tries to get it to Malithus. Yale will have none of it. And there's going to be an icing on Mid-Fairfield. 8:31 left in the third period. Mid-Fairfield still up by 2. Hey, John. What's the score? Okay, so just sorry about the yelling on the mic. CJR is still leading the Wolfpack 3-1. So that would be not a huge upset, but that would be an upset. So Mid-Fairfield still hunting their third goal of the game. Picaro forced to retreat. Slides it over to Shunk, back to Picaro. And Beck gets a beautiful pass off to Scranton. Scranton shot, and it's patted away by the Yale goalkeeper. Shunk thought about shooting, and it's out of the Yale zone. Picaro up with it. Picaro over the blue line. Toe drags. It's thrown away. Shunk with a shot, misses the net. Opposite side, Beck. Tries to dump it back in. It's thrown out of the Yale zone. Picaro looks to reload with Scranton. Scranton unable to handle it cleanly. Leaves it for Picaro. Picaro skates around a couple players, throws it, blocker side. Hanna out in front. Oh, and he's knocked to the ice. And the Yale bench all responds in kind. The former teammate dumped to the ice. 3-2 now. So Mr. Yoon has given me an update that the Wolfpack now only down by a goal, 3-2. So Ruff at center. Johnston comes in, shot, that's blocked aside. Lots of hitting going on here. Ruff able to keep it back in. Johnston up with it, shot, unable to hit the net. Zoo collects the errant shot, over to Ruff. And it's gloved out of the air by the Yale goalkeeper. So 6:44 left. Mid-Fairfield still up by 2, and it credit the Yale netminder. He's kept his team in it. This is Mid-Fairfield just been dominating the pace of play for the last 2 periods, but really unable to put one in. Correa over to Johnston. Johnston in, and sticked up into the air. Battle along the boards. Ruff now makes a nice play, snatches it out of the air, but it's thrown to the opposite side. Johnston comes in. Ruff with a steal, shot out in front. And so they're saying hand pass on Correa. So the only problem with Correa's play right there, it was a good play, but just try to advance the puck, which you are unable to do. You've got to just drop it. It's John, it's 3 tied. All right, so John Muniz just told me that the Wolfpack have now tied CJR 3-3 in the third period. So finally, CJR relinquishes the lead. Yale tries to put a shot on net. Nothing doing, no icing, rolling puck with the Yale goalkeeper is able to stop. Looked like Malafis snowed the goalkeeper, but you know, the goalkeeper's from Yale wiping his face off, but I don't think it was mean-spirited by Malafis. He was just chasing the puck down. Out to Yoon, shot, tipped, it's by the goalkeeper, but off to the side. Shunk now, dumps back in the corner to Lubke. He throws it back over to Malafis and out of the zone. Good stick lift by Heckel there. Heckel with some nifty skating. Leaves it from Malafis, only you. Shot. And looked for a tip from Heckel, but the Yale goalkeeper able to secure it with 5:03 left to play in the game. The danger in a game like this is it feels Mid-Fairfield is way up in the game just because we've had the puck in the Yale end the whole time, but a goal dramatically changed the look of this game for Yale's perspective. Blocked by the Yale player. Scranton up with it. Yale fans are howling at Kokaro. Now Beck up with it. Beck tried to slide it over. Yale defenseman with an outstanding play. So Zoo is called for the offside there. 4:32 left to play. Mid-Fairfield up 2-0. So Hannah at center. Shunk able to slide it out of the zone to his buddy Beck. Beck across the blue line. Out in front. Oh, it is swept away by a Yale defenseman, thrown out deep into the Mid-Fairfield zone. Klingenstein up with it. Klingenstein cross ice to Shunk. Back to Klingenstein, a little too much on it. It's turned over to Yale, but stolen by Hannah. He throws it to Klingenstein. Klingenstein surveys, loses the handle on the puck. Klingenstein hits the brace, stands behind Violante. Fairfield's got to be a little careful here, turning it over. Scranton now with a full head of steam, leaves it for Hannah. Backhand, Scranton unable to get a stick on it. And here comes Yale again. Schwartz with the steal, throws it up in the air. And Yale's forced to retreat in their own zone. And that's going to be an icing with 3:10 left to play in the game. So Ruff, Hooray, and Johnston will go out there with Takaro and Zoo. Puck out to Kokaro, pinches in, shot, unable to hit the net. It bounced off, I think it deflected off a player's stick up into the netting. So they'll reload here. 3:01 left to play. Just over the right shoulder of Ruff. Looks like Ruff is going to try to get it out to him. But win by Yale. Picaro keeps in. Picaro dumped hard to the ice, but Ruff recovers it. Off the goalie's mask. Ruff up with it. Picaro into the corner, but turns the puck over. Yale back up with it out in front. Skips by Violante, and here comes Zoo. Gets it to Johnston, who hits the brakes. Johnston along the blue line decides to dump it into the corner. To Correa. Correa hammered into the boards. Zoo forced to retreat. Ridden off the puck by the Yale player, but then turns it over, and Ruff able to throw it out to Yoon. Yoon reverses course twice, looking for a player to pass it to, and here comes Yoon, cross center ice. Yoon, Ludke with a shot. Oh, nice play by Yoon and Ludke, but a little too close to the goalkeeper, and they're going to stop play here. Call a tripping call. And so Ludke's going to head to the sin bin for the final 1:30, basically the rest of the game, because there's 1:33 left, so Yale's going to talk it over here. As I said, it feels like Mid-Fairfield's dominated the game. They've had the puck in the Yale zone probably 3/4 of the game, but we're only up 2-0. So I guess the Yale CJR, or the Wolfpack CJR game is still tied in the third period. And as we said, that's a big game for the seeding for tonight. So just Mid-Fairfield, after scoring 2 goals late in the first period, just unable to get anything going offensively. But Mid-Fairfield just absolutely has been shutting down Yale so far. And now here comes Shunk, he throws it out of the zone, and that'll be an icing. So your defensemen, you have Shunk and Picaro out there. And Malefus and Heckle as your penalty killers. Curiously, they haven't pulled the goalie from Yale yet. I mean, they do have a one-man advantage. Puck went into the Mid-Fairfield bench. Thrown back to the referee. Malefus at the center. And it's a win. Thrown out. Malefus. Oh, nice play by Aldred to keep it in. Wild shot to the side. Puck high up in the air, and the netting is going to come crashing down on Violante. So we're going to stop play here. 52.8 seconds left in the game. Mid Fairfield still up by 2. Coach going to run with the same group here. Malefus with the win. Shunk taps it over to the opposite side. Oh, nice play by Heckel, who's able to throw it out. Jones forced to retreat. Gather the puck out in front. Saved by Violante. Another shot hits off of Cacaro's back and over the net. And chipped out by Klingenstein. So 23 seconds left in the game. That was about the closest Yale's come to scoring here in the game. But again, turned away by the defenseman from Fairfield. Hanna at the faceoff. We got Shunk out there and Scranton and Caccaro. Aldred passes it back over, top of the key. Shot onto Violante that's blockered up into the air and out of the zone. 11 seconds left. Hanna all over his ex-teammates. And that's it, folks. So Mid-Fairfield goes perfect, 3-0 in the round-robin portion of the playoffs, and we will see you tonight at 6 o'clock and to a TBD opponent. But we will see you later. Thank you and have a good afternoon.